Hi, I'm Laura Coombs, and this is my masterclass.
He's come for Coombs. Lovely first touch, and how about the finish?
To get beyond the last defender, clips in a ball towards Shaw, and it's headed in by Coombs. Laura Coombs.
Firstly, thank you for joining us, Laura, and congrats again on the new deal.
Thank you.
We've put together some characteristics that we think you have on the screen here. Firstly, if you just cast your eye over these characteristics, are there any that you feel are particularly important to play the role that you play at City?
Well, I think box to box is a massive trait. You know, you need to be able to cover the distance, to get forward, help in attacks, get back, help defend for your team, and for me, obviously, shots from distance, you can't always be up. Heading's not a massive thing for me, so I need to be able to shoot from distance. You know, to create a goal threat sometimes. And yeah, high pressing. We play to press, and press teams really high. It's a big part of our game.
Absolutely, and the idea of a box-to-box midfielder, it's something that at City we obviously take real pride in and is really important.
Yeah, you're often put in that sort of 6, 8 or 10 position, and here we play with an out-and-out 6, but we do play with 2 10s, but those 2 10s, you're not given a free role like you might at some other clubs. You have a lot of responsibility, you know, getting back to defend. You're not a traditional 10 that maybe can float around. Yeah. We have massive responsibilities to get back and do our defensive duties as well.
Absolutely. We're going to start on your attacking qualities. We've got some statistics from the WSL this season, and this is among centre midfielders, players in your position in the league. You're second in terms of combined goals and assists, and you're in the top 3 for your shot conversion rate. Firstly, how delighted are you with your numbers this season, but also beyond that, do you feel there's been a switch in your game at all over the last few months? No,
I just think the manager's put a real emphasis on me. He wants me to create more, he wants me to score more. Every game I go into, he's just like, I want you to have at least 3 shots. I think for me, a big thing is just the contact I make on the football. I know as soon as I've hit, I know where the goal is, but if you get good contact on the ball, strong contact means it won't spin, and yeah, it's hard to explain, but yeah, yeah, it's I know as soon as I've hit a ball whether it's going to be a good effort on target or not.
You've definitely had a few of them this season.
Bonnet through the middle towards Laura Coombs. Coombs has got a chance here, and she finds the net against her former club.
So we've actually split your different goal-scoring qualities into 3. There's the clever movement. Something that we've noticed when we were looking at your goals from the past is these moves in behind the defence. I mean, making that run beyond. Yeah. You are leaving yourself exposed behind. So how do you kind of weigh up that? We've
been blessed with some really threatening number 9s, and I find a lot of the time that centre backs from the opposition, they get quite drawn to our number 9s and leaving space in behind, and that's like a dream for midfielders. As soon as you see that space, it's just that's one of my favourite things to see. I'm running straight into that space, and they don't need to hit me, they just need to hit the ball in the space and allow me to do the rest. And we've put this video on a loop because, I mean, what a goal. Where does this one in particular against Liverpool rank for you in terms of your goals? I think it's probably up there, to be honest. Yeah, the first touch, I mean, it was a bit behind me, so it was kind of a bit of a improvise, but yeah, it was one of my favourites. Another element is this anticipation, clever late runs into the box, as shown in the derby in December. How much of it is sort of just natural to you, knowing when to make that run, and how much do you sort of practice that timing? Again, I noticed in this game particularly that the centre-backs were so scared of Bonnie and her movement, and she's such a threat in the air that they both, if you see in all the clips, they all attract to Bonnie, and me and Bunny speak about this a lot. I just need to end up kind of behind her somewhere, and then if it evades her, then hopefully it's coming to me. And also just knowing your players as well. I know the type of ball Chloe likes to put in from the right hand side. She likes to whip it, and they're hard to defend against. So I just think being in the right areas, you give yourself half a chance. So in situations like that, how much is developed on the training pitch and how much just sort of comes naturally? In terms of knowing your players, that's just working with them day in, day out, especially Chloe. You know, you build those relationships in training, and she knows where I'm going to be running. I know where she's going to want to try and put the ball. And
onto the more spectacular of them, as you mentioned earlier, shots from distance. Absolutely love this one against United. Pick that out. The one thing that, I mean, again, we've noticed looking at these clips is a lot of your strikes from distance, there's very little backlift. So when it comes to a shot like that, is that more your technique, or is that the power behind the shot that kind of makes it travel like it does?
I didn't even really know that I did that, but like I was trying to say earlier, it's like the contact that I feel on the ball. If I can just hit straight through it, I know I can generate quite a bit of power. I'm trying to hit the corners. A quick glance up, you can kind of just see where the keeper is. You don't really need to look at the rest of the goal. It's just sort of trying to get it past them in one corner or the other. It's something that I've practiced a lot over the years in training, and luckily I've always had managers that have allowed me to shoot from distance, because not all managers are like that.
Going to hear from one of your teammates now on screen, talking about your shooting ability and how important it is.
Shooting is something that's such a good attribute of hers in training. You know, if you've got Coombs on your team, you're going to have a good shout of getting some goals, because she's such a creative player, and has just got so many good relationships on the pitch with the people around her as well, which I think is so important, because she just slots into the system and fits in really well with everyone else.
Must be nice hearing that from a teammate.
Yeah, that's lovely. It's like, as hit the nail on the head, I think building relationships with the people around you is key. Knowing what they want to do, knowing they know what I want to do, and they know if they can give me the ball in a certain area, I'll shoot and try my utmost to get the goals.
To Coombs. Coombs with the effort. Oh, somehow kept out and followed in by Bunny Shaw. She would not be denied. But credit to Laura Coombs. How on earth did that stay out initially? Wonderful curling, speculative effort.
Moving on to another major part of your game, your creativity, the thing that obviously midfielders pride themselves on. How do you see those passes?
Yeah, it just comes back to just knowing your players every time. And I know playing down the left-hand side with Julie or Hempo, their speed, it's just about putting it in the space for them. You don't have to get the ball to their feet. They can just almost create something out of nothing. So it's just getting them in the areas where they can cause damage.
And then moving on to some more statistics from this season. Chance creation, you're right up there with the midfielders again. Yeah,
it's good to see. I'd like to up my chances created looking at that. But really happy with passing accuracy. Or being at City or a club that likes to keep the ball, that's a really important factor. Yeah.
13 chances created in 11 games is pretty good though. Yeah. More than one a game.
It's okay.
Good target, a good target. And a quote from the boss now. He said this after the derby in December. A top person and a really good player. You cover every blade of grass, wealth of experience, important role in the team, and a dream to work with. So that again emphasises he obviously is pleased with what you're doing.
So it's really nice to read things like that. I do feel super valued here from the manager and the players, and I hope that's the environment that we can create to not just myself but make everyone thrive here. I
mean, that's exemplified. Yeah. We've got your 420 touches in the WSL this season. I didn't count them, I got told thankfully. Would have been a long day. The touches are all over the pitch, so that must be again a prime example of your involvement in the team everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. And I just think the more games that go on as well, the midfields, and we're going to nail down our positions even better and hopefully cover every blade of grass.
Absolutely.
You know, I think she's a great person to work with. She's got a wealth of experience, and I think now she's playing with a confidence and a belief.
How important is that in your game, being confident with the ball, attacking spaces rather than sort of just knocking the ball off and moving?
Definitely. I feel in myself this season I need to take more responsibility in that, and you know, when you're surrounded by so many good players, it's easy for you to be like, oh, just give this to Hempo, just give this to Bunny, they'll create something. It's up to me to, you know, drive with the ball and then release it to them where they can cause the most damage, and not just, you know, hope they can from the first instance.
And then moving on to your importance out of possession as well, and as a midfielder that is just as important at times. In the WSL, possession won in the final third, you're second across the entire position, and Dana's up there as well with you. So that goes into that, what you were saying earlier, how maybe the number 6 has that defensive role, but then the two of you are given that licence.
Yeah, and we're a high pressing team. You know, the manager wants us to win the ball high up, because obviously that's our best chance of scoring, is if we win it high up. So yeah, I'm really happy to see that, and happy for Dana as well. Yeah,
absolutely. And we've got some examples of you winning the ball high up the pitch. This was obviously last season against Brighton. When you get opportunities like that, I mean, what a finish again. But how, weighing up that risk and reward scenario again, how do you kind of make that decision?
For me, it's just when I commit to something, I know I'm going to go and I have to win it. Because if you go half-hearted and don't win it, then you leave your team vulnerable behind you. So for me, I just know as soon as I've made a decision to go, I feel that I can win it, and I go and I just try my best to win it.
And the final word goes again to Esme Morgan. She said some really nice. She's back again. Don't worry.
She's so intelligent, as you say, such a versatile player. She can just pop into whichever spot's needed, and that's so important, because in game there's times when the midfielders rotate, or even just if he's making changes off the bench, you can just shift where she is, and she's so good in each of the roles. Defensively, she knows exactly what she's doing if she's holding, and she's a real attacking threat in any of the other 2 positions. So she's such a good player. I love playing with Coombs.
Oh.
Yeah, really nice, brother. It goes again showing that, yes, there's really important physical qualities to playing as a midfielder, but your mental quality and your intelligence and anticipation is just as important as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's, being at City, that's really, that's improved for me. It's great seeing these things, and I can feel it when I'm on the pitch. I feel like I know what's expected of me, and these are the things that keep you in the team, so it's really important that I keep them up.
Tries to get beyond the last defender, clips in a ball towards Shaw, and it's headed in by Coombs! Laura Coombs stooped to head it in from inside the penalty area.